Hey, it's Kevin. Thanks for stopping by for another No BS social media update. Today we're talking about your image. And I don't mean how you want to be perceived online. I'm talking about one specific thing, and that's your profile image across the social media sites you use. A lot of people, and I have recording artists to do this, I have friends in the entertainment industry, friends in the media, friends who are just, again, accountants and lawyers and nonprofit people who have this one, I don't want to call it a fatal flaw because it's not fatal, but let me tell you why it personally is one of my pet peeves, and I know it's got to be frustrating your friends, your followers, and your fans too. And when I talk about a consistent image, I'm talking about using one particular picture as your profile image, as your icon, whether it's on Twitter or on YouTube or on Facebook, wherever that might be, even Instagram for that matter. And the reason I do this is I think it's important for people to see that image because when I'm scrolling through my Facebook timeline, I'm not paying attention to names. I'm not always looking at content. I'm looking for a familiar picture. It's like, oh, there's my friend Larry. I want to look at something he did. Oh, there's my friend George. I need to check something out there. Oh, there's my friends at WRBI Radio. Got to check out what they're doing because those images stay consistent. One thing a lot of people do, and I have artists do this, and I don't yell at them, but I highly recommend they stop doing this, is changing their profile picture on a regular basis. Or not only changing it on a regular basis, but having a different one on the different social media sites. Having something different on Twitter than what they have on YouTube, than what they have on Facebook. Because, especially with Twitter, especially with Facebook, as you're scrolling through timelines, as you're scrolling through this endless content on your home page, on your home feed, it's that little picture icon that usually jumps off the page to you, that normal picture. I think in the last 6-8 years, I've used 3 or 4 different pictures. It's from a familiar photo shoot, it's just different views, and I found one that I finally like that really pops off the page that stays consistent. And I keep that photo up all the time. My friend Larry, who runs 9 North Records, has used the same profile image for years. It's his on websites. It's his. He prefers that particular image. It's a black and white image. Nothing spectacular, just a man looking into a camera. But when you see that image, you know it's going to be Larry. Now, you're thinking to yourself, okay, great. Now you've taken away some of the creativity that I put out through social media. And yes, we are taking away some of the creativity. But again, think in terms of how your fans, your friends, your followers are going to interact with this content. There is a place for you to be creative, and that is the header images. And they all have different names for it. At the top of your personal Facebook page, there's the place where you can put the 851 by 315 graphic. I forget what they call it on Facebook, but everybody's got a different name for it. The Twitter background has a different variation too that's going to sit behind your profile image. You can be creative there, and you can change those out until the cows come home. Because again, if somebody's going to check out your page, they're going to see that familiar little promo icon, that little profile icon that they're used to seeing, and then they're going to have a creative background. I think for my personal background, I know on Twitter and on YouTube, I have a Coca-Cola ghost sign from a small town in Tennessee. There's kind of a neat little picture behind that because I like those kind of ghost signs, and I post some pictures on my personal social media. But I change out my Facebook background image, if you will, all the time. Once every week, once every 2 weeks. I couldn't even tell you right now what I've even got up there. In fact, I've got a little photo album, if you want to go by and see, which are my Facebook headers or my Facebook profile icons that I've custom built for that specific size that fit in there. Some people just use any kind of picture and stretch it out. But those little options give you a chance to be creative. Those options give you a chance to do something a little bit different. So as much as I know you want to be creative and you want to change up those pictures because it bores you, stop. Think about, again, as we talked about in a recent episode, think like an amateur. Think like the fan, the follower, the friend who's following you, who you want to make sure they see that familiar image so they can stop and look at your content and more importantly, react. Whether it's like, whether it's comment, whether it's reshare, whether whatever it is, whatever particular social media site you're on. And again, it can even be some of the smaller ones too, from your Google Pluses to your Snapchats to whatever it is. But if you go look at all my Kevin Mason username content driven pages, profiles, social media sites, it's all basically the same picture. There may be a little bit different variation of it because they have different unique sizes, but it's the same picture, just sized to fit perfectly for those sites. I encourage you to do that. I encourage you to stop, and again, don't worry about being so creative there. There are places for your creativity, in your content for that matter. On a little bit harder work, a little bit, one less social media post this week if you're going to change out that picture. But trust me, I think you'll be glad you do when people can actually find your content and react to it. See you next week, another No BS social media site. My email, my phone number, all coming up next. Thanks.